Hey, you know the drill. Somebody actually told me something today about you that you needed to hear. So I know you need to hear this. That when you think of financial freedom and all the things that you think you want and how you think money may be the solution to it, it's not. Because it doesn't matter how much money you have if you don't have a good relationship with yourself and the people around you that you choose to associate yourself with, like how you choose to show up around these people. If it's not the fullest expression of yourself, money's never ever gonna fix any of that stuff. It's just not. And I've asked this question before, and I want you to really think about this for one moment. If you got $10 million, if I could just give you $10 million, would you take it? Would it solve a lot of issues? Yeah, probably. Money's an amplifier. It allows you to do more things. It allows you to amplify your vision for things, and you can, put money towards it, so that way you can grow whatever business or whatever you want to do with it, right? Except the only catch is that, let's say, you don't get to wake up tomorrow if I give you $10 million. Would you still want the 10 mil? Probably not, right? Because if you said no, it means your life is worth more than $10 million tomorrow. No matter how bad, how sad, how depressing or stressful or much of a struggle tomorrow may be, it's worth more than $10 million. And that is the whole caveat of the human experience. The journey you signed up to experience as a soul on earth. That's what makes it worth it. You think we're all just reincarnating here on the planet like just to, pay bills and die? No. You get to do way more than just pay bills and die. You get to figure out how to find out who you really are. Find out the kind of person you want to be in the world. How you want to show up and express yourself to the people around you. Because financial money doesn't mean wealth. Your friends, your family, where you're putting your passions and excitement towards, what you're sharing with the world, your energy levels, your health, all those things, including some financial abundance. It's one of the categories of things that actually attribute and associate to your full potential of wealth. So, all I want you to realize is that, and I struggled for this with a long, for like a long, blah, blah, blah. And I struggled with this for a while, especially when I was younger. I didn't grow up very wealthy. I grew up pretty poor. Like, in fact, I was walking to school with my shoes ripping during like the rainy seasons and winters, and like my shoes would be getting wet and they would be ripped, and my dad didn't want to buy me shoes. It was always a struggle. My mom calling my dad at Ross, like, hey, can we get him new shoes? They're ripping, they're wet. And he'd be like, no. For no reason. Even though like my dad was abusive and stuff, and my parents are divorced now, no worries. Point is though, is like, so when I hit 18, I started working for a fitness company and became a personal training director. I managed the fitness side of things. So all the personal trainers, the sales for personal training, and I was head of sales. And I did that for 4.5 years. Big corporate job, right? And I did it at a very young age. So I was making more money than I knew what to do with. And although I had a Mercedes, all those things, believe me, crying in your Mercedes alone is not worth it. Okay? Because I wasn't showing up vulnerably. I was putting on this like persona. Like, yeah, I was showing up the best I could and the best of my ability. Except like I thought I had to be this like manager, person in my life and, be successful and professional. And that was not the case. It would have been better if I would have been able to be vulnerable. And like most of the people had no idea, like even people from junior high or high school, how much abuse I had went through in my life because I never opened up to anybody. I never actually established deep and meaningful connections with anyone. So, that might be pretty loud ASMR sounds. The true level of wealth is how you choose to show up in the world and whether if you're suppressing yourself or not. And vulnerability is such a strength because that opens a door to deep connection with others. So I guarantee you, if you can start showing up and expressing yourself without fear of the outcome, whether if you'll be rejected or not, Because of course I had a big worthiness wound from, my dad. Like I felt like I was rejected, right? Like I wasn't good enough. So start finding out the areas in your life where you're feeling where you're not worthy, and ask yourself why, and why do you believe that to be true? Because if you express who you are, the people may run away from you. They don't want to be your friend all of a sudden. Yeah, right. And good. If so, like if you show up as your real self, you learn how to set boundaries, and they don't want to be your friend, okay, that's totally chill. They're not the ones for you. There's better people, now that, let's say, you know how to set boundaries, that'll come and be of a much much more in alignment with the version of who you really are. Those people are really there to love you. So again, like I had more money than I knew what to do with, and I was still sad. And they say, like, it's better to cry in like an expensive car than not than not the expensive car. That's not true. It's not true. So it's more important for you to be vulnerable with yourself and sit with your emotions and really find out what it's going to make you happy. Because once you have all the nice material things, like those things don't matter. They really don't. I mean, having like a computer and stuff to help you like build stuff and put stuff out to the world, those things matter. So choose things that you can invest in for yourself to help you expand and form deep connections with others. Okay, even paying for a therapist if that's what it takes. All right, so just relax. Like money comes and goes, and the best thing you can do is invest in yourself and the connections you have with others. That is what will lead you to true abundance. Because there's some things that you can't do on your own. Like you want to create art and create music or whatever you want to birth to the world. This is my artist name and my logo and stuff I made. Well, guess what? You got to have fans to share that with, right? And that comes with you constantly investing in yourself and learning how to create art, learning how to create music. It's like I'm talking to myself from 5 years ago. Because I had this video 5 years ago. That's probably why I'm making this video now. It makes sense. I probably let go. I probably feel more relief. Like money's not that big thing. I want to focus on what is meaningful to me and my passion, and showing up with my full self and saying no to people, setting boundaries instead of saying yes to everybody. Oh yeah, sure, I'll help you move your freaking heavy couch and stuff on my only day off. Yeah, freaking right. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not people pleasing. I'm not seeking validation and approval. And if I tell someone no to helping them move, and they're not going to be my friend over that, they're probably not going to be a good friend anyway. And I had someone do that to me once. I told them no for the first time after I started learning how to set boundaries, and they told me straight up to my face, "You only get so many no's." What a narcissistic, manipulative thing to say. They weren't my real friend, and they turned out they weren't. So we had a lot of great times and great experiences, and it was humbling to learn a lot of stuff. So best piece of advice: show up vulnerably, say no, do what fuels you, and don't worry about money. That stuff comes. All right? It comes as a byproduct of you living your highest timeline. All right, much love. Have an alchemizing day.